Yesterday, the euro remained range-bound. It failed to rise above the high in the Asian session, thus enabling traders to go short at 1.0040 and creating an additional sell signal at 0.9993, the middle of the sideways channel. As a result, the European session returned to the lower boundary of the range. The pair's further direction depends on fundamental statistics and the Fed's interest rate decision. Yesterday's data showed that German producer prices jumped again, but the focus of market participants was on building permits and housing starts in the United States. The first indicator plunged by 10%, which confirms that the US economy is sliding into a recession. However, data on US housing starts turned out to be unexpectedly upbeat, which helped mitigate the negative impact from a drop in building permits. As for today's macroeconomic calendar, traders may take notice of ECB members' speeches. However, US statistics and the Fed's decision on interest rates will be the focal point of investors. The US is set to release data on existing home sales, which are likely to decline. The central bank is expected to raise its key interest rate by 75 basis points to 3.25%, which has already been priced in by traders. Thus, particular attention will be given to the Fed's updated economic projections and experts' forecasts for the regulator's interest rate. According to the latest economic projections, FOMC participants see the funds rate rising to 3.8% by the end of next year, before returning to 3.4% by late 2024 and to 2.1% by the end of 2025 and standing at 2.5% in the longer term. If these forecasts are revised up, demand for the US dollar will rebound. Besides, market participants are hoping to receive some clues about the central bank's further monetary policy from Jerome Powell, who will speak at a press conference. If the head of the Fed signals an increasingly aggressive stance, the greenback will post strong gains. In this case, the euro will return below parity and head for 0.9900, 0.9800, and even 0.9700. From a technical point of view, the euro-dollar pair is still trading in a sideways range. I think it is worth focusing on 0.9947. A full breakout at this level will create a buy signal. A return to 0.9993, the middle of the sideways channel, will enable traders to open additional long positions, counting on an approach to 1.0040. The price will be able to rise above this mark only if the US regulator takes a more cautious approach to monetary policy or keeps its projections unchanged. In this situation, the euro will have a chance of recovering to 1.0084, 1.0118, and probably to 1.0154. Alternatively, if the price forms a false breakout at 0.9993 and 1.0040 or fixes below 0.9947 amid hawkish comments from Fed officials, the euro-dollar pair will most likely drop to 0.9902 and 0.9867. At the level of 0.9867, it will be possible to go long on a rebound with a view to catching an intraday correction of 25-30 pips. Long positions at 0.9902 can be considered only if the event of a false breakout. Speaking of the British pound, the situation is similar. The pound sterling failed to consolidate above 1.1450 and returned to one-year lows. With the Fed's aggressive tightening, a breakout at 1.1355 will drag the pair down to 1.1313 and 1.1264, and then fresh lows. Please bear in mind that tomorrow's macroeconomic calendar includes the meeting of the Bank of England. This means that the British currency will hardly suffer heavy losses today. After all, the UK Central Bank also moves aggressively and is likely to follow the US Federal Reserve. A false breakout at 1.1355 or 1.1313 will create a buy signal. In this case, the pound sterling may add to 1.1405, the middle of the range. If the price advances above this level amid the Fed's shift to a less aggressive stance, the British pound will be able to gain to 1.1451 and 1.1495. At the level of 1.1495, I recommend opening short positions on a rebound, counting on intraday correction of 25-30 pips. Short positions in the nearest resistance levels of 1.1405 and 1.1451 can be considered only if in case of a false breakout. Good luck.